Hey guys, I'm Marisa Rothman at Marisa Rothman,
Danielle at Danielle TBD.
and this is our podcast, We Have Thoughts. And we're going to talk about one of our summer guilty pleasures, and really, it's truly the guiltiest of pleasures, Whodunnit. Which, if you follow either of us on Twitter, which really, why aren't you? We're fantastic-ish. You might have seen us live tweeting some of these episodes, which I have to say, because as we've talked about in other vodcasting segments today, because of Comic-Con and TCA, I got behind on this, and I got behind to an extent where it kind of built up, and I was just like, but I want to watch it with my friends. Like, I kind of wanted to have the conversation on Twitter. The show was fun without it, but it was significantly more fun, and I mean like significantly more fun when we were able to just. Some of you contestants are crazy,
Well,
and I'm saying you because if we tag this Whodunnit on Twitter, you
They'll
might
find
actually
it.
see it.
They will find it. Well,
Some of you
we
were really
talked about
smart.
this when we talked about the pilot or the premiere.
You saw it with the screening,
Right, and how it's a group type show because
Yeah.
you sit there and you make these comments about people saying dumb things or seeming like they're acting when they're really not. They're just reacting to the moment
Jerry.
in an over the top way, and like you can't. I mean, I could sit at home and watch it and turn to my dog and be like, "Oh my god!" But it's not the same.
No.
So you kind of need that, event experience, which it's so weird to say that Whodunnit was an event series
But it
because
was.
but it kind of was. And I mean, I don't know if they were going for that or if they expected that response, but it was fascinating to see as the season went along among the reporters who came out of the woodwork and was like, I watch it too. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell anybody, but I saw you guys tweeting and I totally watch it too. Like,
Yeah.
the conversations that I got into at TCA with people who were like,
Amazing.
we don't chime in publicly,
Yeah.
but we watch it, and who do you think is the killer? And oh my God, could you believe how so and so died? Or I guess I can say
Mountain
now.
lion.
Oh my God, the mountain lion. That edit job was awful, but whatever.
Did Peter get upset about the fake about the horse death? By the way, because
First of all, everything like
Of course, it's all fake. First of all,
I
yes.
don't think
But-
PETA was watching.
No, but I was curious about that because when I was catching up, when I saw they showed a shot of the horse falling down and tumbling, I'm like, you would think that they would
I
not all
don't-
have been okay with that.
I don't
But
know.
it was
to be honest, how
it
they
was
shot
the,
that.
It was the
so-
Sunday of Comic-Con, so I missed that
Yeah.
episode live. So I didn't actually. And the next morning, I was basically in my.
No,
Get work done
nobody
bubble.
was really talking about it.
So,
I'll say that. But
well, because half the people who watched and talked about the show were at Comic-Con.
no, I mean like
But
PETA
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
like nobody. Right. There was no statement, and the next morning that was like, oh
I
my
don't-
God,
I don't follow them close enough,
don't
so I don't
watch
know.
But I mean the show all along in the show, I compared it to the mole
Did
because
any of us get the killer right? By the way,
I didn't.
I know.
I don't know. We didn't like publicly say our
No,
guesses.
I
said my guess, but
I
no one
didn't-
else did.
I didn't think it was her at all.
But here's the thing, like all along in the show, the contestants every week had to lay out the crime. They had to speak into a camera and say, this is what I think, or this is what I know happened, and this is who I think the killer is, right? So half of you succeeding that week and getting the win or just not getting a scared card should have been that you correctly guessed the killer. But at the end of the season, there was 2 people left in the room. So you ended up winning by default. You didn't have to correctly guess the killer because you just had to know it was not you.
Right.
And that upset me irrationally and a lot because Lindsay, for all her slowness, knew or thought it was Chris the entire time.
Yeah.
And because she just was slower at the other
She was running so
tasks or didn't get them all correctly or whatever, she got killed
got
third,
arrowed to
or I'm sorry,
arrowed to
got
third.
killed last, right? Third to the end. She was the second runner-up, or what? No, I guess she was technically the runner-up because the killer can't win.
much. Right.
And that really bummed me out because then you have this moment of these 2 people in a room going like, "It's you, no, it's you,
and see,
no,
honestly-
it has to be you because it's definitely not
And
me."
see-
And like it's not you, dude.
And since when that happened, I kind of expected Lindsay to come out with the arrow and be like, "It's me, bitches."
Oh,
I
that
kind
would
of
have
thought
been
that was gonna
interesting.
happen.
That
And then,
would've been-
they
yeah.
would have like gone to the past to see how many of them had correctly.
That
I-
would have been
I thought it was
interesting.
going to end up being Lindsay, and I thought they'd both be suspecting each other, and then they would end up like seeing who had guessed her the most, which then it would have been Chris. because Chris kept saying it was Lindsay.
True, but that would have been interesting.
In
And-
hindsight, makes sense considering if she knows that it's her and she knows that Lindsay keeps guessing her.
But,
it makes sense to keep.
See, I like that idea. I didn't think of that idea. But I had thought when I was watching it, and I was like, oh, it's one of the two of them, and now it's just the who's going to realize it's not them first scenario.
It should have been blatantly obvious.
No, it should have been Cam doesn't win because Cam didn't correctly guess her.
Did he ever guess her?
I don't know, but I mean, like, in the moment, like, he wasn't thinking, he wasn't running up there going, it's Chris. I feel like they should have made them lock in their guesses at that question mark wheel.
Yeah.
And if you didn't guess, then the killer should have won the money. If
Yeah,
you got away with it,
Yeah.
you should have been the winner.